The Full-Time Review is brought to you and supported by Saltire Energy, the global market leader in specialist drilling equipment rental, and also by Craig International, a truly global company with 10 offices strategically placed around the world. The future of global procurement is right here. Goals from Bojan Majowski and Jamie McGrath gave Aberdeen a much needed win against Ross County at Pittodrie yesterday. At times it wasn't pretty, but we don't care. The job got done. It means this: we have drawn level with Motherwell on 33 points. Next up, we play Livingston on Saturday, away, 3 o'clock kickoff. Technically and mathematically, we could still make the top 6. Maybe. Hi everybody, how you doing? A very good evening, a very happy Easter Sunday. Hope you've had a lovely day. How's it all going? So this is the review show. And what we do on this show is look back on yesterday's result against Ross County. So this is live, so you can join in the debate, and I'm very much looking forward to your comments tonight. So all you have to do if you're watching for the first time is, first and foremost, press the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, and then join in the debate. So just leave your comment underneath the video. I will read out your comment. If you wish to interact with each other, please do. But as always, here on this platform, be very mindful to be very respectful of each other and do not use bad language if you can help it. One of the most important things for me here is that we build a safe haven for fans to come and express their opinions without the fear of getting slaughtered, getting slagged off, getting called names, all that sort of stuff. We simply do not tolerate it. So if you can be very respectful of your fellow fans, that would be great. Thank you. So, yesterday, this is what I thought ahead of the game. I did not want the managerial nonsense that has been going on over the past few weeks to have any sort of distraction on the team. And I felt it was important that all we as fans did was just get behind the team. And nearly 18,000 turned up at Pittodrie yesterday, which I think is absolutely remarkable. And once again, goes to show how vital the support is to the team. So it wasn't pretty at times. It was a bit, it was ugly, let's be honest. But absolutely credit to Peter Leven, because he made the changes at the right time and he made the correct changes. I felt Connor was struggling. I thought the game completely passed him by. And when Dante came on for him, I think he just gave us a spark. And I thought he was brilliant when he came on, and I think he deserves a run in the side now. I've actually been a little bit baffled to why he hasn't had a decent run in the side of late. I think Dante has grown into potentially what could be a really good player for us. So I hope he retains his place in the side against Livingston next week. I thought when Duke came on, I thought, again, it was almost like watching the Duke of old. Showed great power, showed great strength, was willing to take on his immediate opponent. And I just loved how Peter was able to see that, change it up, and it gave us the impetus to go on and win the game. Let's not underestimate what a huge win that was for us yesterday. To get back-to-back wins now as well is massively important. It does everything for confidence. And I just hope we can take it forward now and really put ourselves safe. I know the top 6 is still a big reach. You know, there's a lot of permutations for us to make the top 6. But hey, listen, we can still do it mathematically. Obviously, depending on other results. But it's still there. It's still there. I don't think we'll do it. I can't see it happening. But all I'm looking for now is that we just keep ourselves away from that relegation playoff spot over the next couple of weeks before the split. Right, so Peter yesterday was forced into one change from the Motherwell game. So Richard Jensen came in for the sick Angus MacDonald. So there's a lot of talk about why Angus didn't make it. So he'd been struggling all week with illness, and that is the reason why he did not play yesterday. So Richard Jensen came in. So it was the 4-2-3-1 formation that Peter played yesterday. This is what he had to say after the game. So I told them at half time, that's not us. We showed a better performance in the second half. I always knew we had the players on the pitch to get that next goal. When Duke's like that, he's a handful for anybody. He's got power and pace. I wanted him to get at the fullback, just help Jack when he needed to. But when it's 1 against 1, go and get at him. Be positive, be direct, get in the box and work hard for the team. He was great for the second goal, and Dante came on and did his share too. So it was great to see that Peter acknowledged the contribution that the two substitutes made. Right, so just let me clear a little bit of the timeline here to get all the other bits and pieces in, because I do have some stuff that I want to show you tonight. A couple of sort of bits and pieces as well, some housekeeping for you, which I think you will like to see. So where are the match stats? I'll get that for you in just a moment. So we'll chuck that there, and there's one more item to go in. Where are the guys? There they are there. Okay, so let's take a look at the match stats. To be honest with you, over the piece, it was fairly 50-50. So they shared 50% possession each, 10 shots at goal each, of which 4 were on target for Aberdeen, 3 for Ross County. We committed 12 fouls in the game to their 16. We only won the 2 corners to their 8. I've got another page for you. So on the game against Motherwell, our figures here are actually down. So successful passes, 258 to their 257. Passes in the final third, 70, which is down on the Motherwell game. Touches, 583. Touches in the opposite box was 18, which again was down on the Motherwell game. But at the end of the day, it's the 3 points that matter. So, got some bits and pieces for you a little bit later. But I think what we'll do is we'll get straight on with it. And let's gather your thoughts. Ooh, there's lots of you on tonight. Okay, so hello everybody. Lovely to see you all. The Aberdeen fan says, hi Ali, hope you're well. Great victory yesterday for the Dons. Sluggish first half as per this season, to be honest, but the lads got us the 3 points we crave. All the best. Thank you, fella. Graham Clark says, good evening Ali and fellow dandies. Unfortunately didn't see the game yesterday, but judging by people's comments, didn't seem like we played well. However, 3 points was the main. On to Livy next week. Bob Duff said, yesterday was massive, just calms everything down. Still nowhere near our best, but ground out the victory. We can approach the remaining games with confidence, which will hopefully mean better performances. Yeah, I agree with that. Okay, Transmission GGB has said, big result yesterday, still work to do, but we can now look forward to the semi-final without worrying about that playoff place. Leven has been great with tactics and using players the right way. Bob came back to say, thought Duke and Palvara turned the game yesterday. Laurel 101 says, game not brilliant, but 3 points was the main thing. Keep going like that and we'll be fine. Sugarland is on. How you doing? He said, great result, deserved in the end after the subs. Once again, our defence was an utter disgrace, specifically Garton man. That guy and Jensen are a clown show and the reason where we are. Okay. So, let's address that. Okay, I'm going to be careful what I say because I think at this stage of the season where there is still plenty at stake, I don't want to overly criticise the players. I'm with you with Stefan Gartenmann. I don't know what it is with Stefan, but the early season form that he showed has been nowhere near that level for, I think, a number of weeks now. In fact, probably a number of months. He does worry me, I have to be honest. So, he needs to step up. But I think he knows that. Richard Jensen also makes me nervous. I don't think he is as solid as Angus MacDonald. And I think we will all agree, and how many of us would have said this at the beginning of the season, that I think we're all very much looking forward to welcoming Ruby back. Because Ruby brings that aggression. Okay, he can be a little bit of a headless chicken now and then, which we all know, but he brings solidity, aggression, and he shores up our defence. So if he is fit, if he gets through this week, I think we might see him against Livingston on Saturday. Maybe, because it's that plastic pitch, isn't it? Let's wait and see. Okay. Transmission GGB came back to say, Leven has made the last 4 managers look really bad by simplifying things, and the way he has coped with talking to the media as well, lifting the players to win games, that we would have lost a month ago. Yeah, I have to say I have been incredibly impressed with him. I can already see in him how more comfortable he is with the media. Yesterday, when he gave his post-match interview to Rob McLean on Red TV, there was a lot more animation about him. He wasn't as stiff as he has been, and it's very important that when you address a camera or you're speaking to a reporter, that you are as relaxed as you possibly can be, even though you're getting a drilling. But he was just more animated. He was a lot more calm. His answers were longer. They weren't as short and sweet. So he's becoming a lot more comfortable in that role, which is great. To me, all that's done is just breed confidence in him, which is fantastic. So all he's done now is he's basically said, in terms of what's going to be happening to him this week, because obviously we're still nowhere nearer to appointing a new manager, is he's taking it day by day until he's told otherwise. So I think he deserves a great deal of credit for the way he has set us up, for the way he's got his playing, for the way he's sort of galvanised everything, and for the way he's conducting himself as well. I absolutely tip my hat to him. Oh, hang on, what's happening there? Okay, so John Smith said, drop Barron and get Dante back in. I agree with that. I would drop Connor for next week. Paul Vicky said, not a great game, but 3 points is all we wanted. The Gallo Glass has said, I don't trust the BBC, but yesterday Kenny McIntyre said he knew Alex Neil was not coming to Aberdeen. Do I know anything? I know nothing. Sugarland says, if we are to have an end-of-season review, it would be anger at Barry assembling a squad for Europe, but totally incapable of playing in this league. I hate to be negative, but that's the reality. Jossy99 says, Duke and Palvara changed the game when they came on. John Smith said, make Dante the captain. Transmission GGB came back to say, I think we just keep our eye on winning games and not think about top 6. Just keep winning games and see what happens. Yeah, I'm totally with you on that one. Bruce McKenzie said, great 3 points, fab weekend for 29 Lewis and Harris Dons on the ferry right now from Ullapool to Stornoway. Should get home by 9:30. So, while we're on that subject, this is the Lewis and Harris Dons Supporters Club who made their way to Pittodrie from the Western Isles. 29 of them came over. This is them before the game. They were welcomed into the boardroom by Willie Garner. They met Stephen Gunn. They met Willie. They had a really nice time in there. Then they obviously went out and watched the game. This is their new banner, which was placed at the front of the Red Shed. And then after the game, they went to meet Bojan Majowski because he was named as their Player of the Year, and they were all on hand to present Bojan his trophy. So it was great because one of the committee members got in touch with me and told me that Bojan told him that he's never had an award like this before. So he was absolutely made up, which is fantastic. James McGaskill texted me earlier to tell me. So some of them are on the way home now, and some of them are heading home tomorrow. I think it's a phenomenal effort. Now, most of you know me by now, that I like to mind my own business when it comes to what other fans do and what other fans think and what other fans say. But I am going to step up here because I was extremely disappointed that a very small minority, a handful of fellow fans, criticised the guys from the Lewis and Harris Dawn Supporters Club by calling them glory hunters. That they only come to games now and then, which I think is an absolutely disgraceful take. And I'm honestly, I'm ashamed of those fans for saying that. What do you expect? You really expect these Aberdeen fans to make that trip every single couple of weeks? Seriously, that's what you think? My goodness. It's hard enough as it is for these guys. They want to be at every game, but they can't because of where they are geographically. So when they make the effort to come, applaud them. Get behind them. Support them. So I'm sorry for preaching, but that got on my wick yesterday when I saw some of those comments. I just thought it was totally unfair. What an effort it is to come all the way. And I hope they all had an absolutely fantastic time and continue your safe travels home. Okay, got that off my chest. All right. The Mad Ferret said it was a must-win game and 3 points is 3 points. Sugarland came back to say Palvaro and Jack McKenzie are the standouts this season, McGrath too. Kaiser has come on and has asked, fit like everybody. John Smith, behave yourself. Shocking. Erica Mitchell has wished everyone a good evening. Great win for the Dons yesterday and 3 points also. Let's push on with the next games and the Scottish Cup semi-final. Stand free, she says. Paul Riki came back and said, I understand about Shinnie and his health issue, as my wife has the same thing. So for him to show the energy as he does on the pitch is a credit to him. So again, Paul, let me address that. So I'm sure you saw the interview that Graham gave recently about what was his illness when he was at Inverness Cali. And I spoke to him a couple of days afterwards because he suffered from Crohn's, I suffered from ulcerative colitis, which is, the two diseases are very similar. As Graham said in his interview, he had to have major surgery. I also had to have major surgery, and I'm facing surgery again at the end of next month. So I know, and again, forgive me for sort of indulging myself here, but I know exactly what Graham went through. And for him to get the type of career that he's had, because I know how hard it was and how debilitating the disease is and was, thankfully, my respect for him went even higher, because for anybody that suffers from Crohn's or ulcerative colitis, it is a horrific disease. It was probably, and this is not me being a drama queen, but it was probably the most difficult 5 months of illness that I've ever had. It was absolutely horrific. And I'm so thankful that the support of my family, the support of you guys, and my surgeons, my doctors got me through it. Because at one point, it was a bit touch and go at one point. So thankfully, I feel 100 times better for having that surgery. It's amazing the difference that you feel. So when Graham came out and had the bravery to say it publicly, my respect for him just went up there. We spoke for a good hour over the phone about it, and I just think he's an astonishing man. And I think anybody out there who is suffering from the disease, look, if you want to reach out, absolutely. I know what you're going through. So if you want to reach out, you know where I am, just get in touch. Because if I can be of any help, I will quite happily try and be of any help, no matter how small or how big it is. So, Paul, thank you for posting that. Very appreciative of that. Sugarland says, Hobbit theory. You can play 2 of 3, Shinnie, Barron and Clarkson, but not all 3. Palvara changed the game in our favour again. I think you're right, mate. Kaiser 1903 says, top six is long gone. We need to win our next two games and hope Dundee and Hibs lose their next two. Yeah, I think, look, let's just get ourselves safe. Get ourselves safe and think about the semi-final. John Smith says, we can still be champions of the losers. He went on to say, bottom six title. Transmission GGB came back and said, the away end had Don's fans in half of it. The changes after a poor first half helped win it. I thought a draw was on the cards. Then Leven saw what was needed to be changed, and it worked very, very well. Okay, so Ian Morgan Smith has just literally signed up to become an ABTV member. So Ian, thank you so much for jumping on board and giving me your support in that manner. So if you don't know of the membership scheme, it's where you pay. It's basically what YouTube did a wee while ago was that they gave people like me an opportunity to I guess you could say earn a living. So people pay a very small subscription fee, which I all put back into the business, and for being a member, you get I offer perks. So, like for example, I'll jump on a Zoom call with you, and we can put the world to right, chat about the Dons, and chat about the channel. I post videos of any sort of exclusive interviews that I have. They get posted to members before they get posted to people who are non-members, so they get a heads up of it. So, thank you, Ian. It's absolutely fantastic. If you want to join, all you have to do is you need to go onto your laptop. Go to the home page. Underneath what is the main banner, there's a little button that says join. Just press it. You'll see me giving a little spiel, blah, blah, blah. And then obviously just make up your own mind whether you want to contribute or not. But I'm delighted with the amount of people that do. And we will be making an announcement very soon about the contributions that you've all made, how I've been able to basically invest in that. We'll be making an announcement very soon. And I would not have been able to do that without your help and your support. Kaiser 1903 said, I'll take finishing 7th and winning the cup. Wouldn't we all? Gareth Mackey said, firstly, Ali, all the best with your forthcoming op. You mentioned as health is paramount. Totally agree about Dante. Needs more game time, especially with Shinnie needing rest. Roos thoughts. Thank you, Gareth. I have to say, I thought Kelly was magnificent yesterday. The save from Danda, is that his name? Danda? Oh my God, what a save that was in the second half. Oh my God, when it was 1-1. That was a sensational save for me. The save from Josh Reed in the first half was just as important. Not as impressive as the second one, but just as important. I think he's starting to look a little bit more assured of himself. He was coming for crosses more. He was commanding his 6-yard box more than what we've seen recently. So, look, we've all been guilty. I've been guilty of having a bit of a pop at him and telling him to give himself a shake. And I think he has done that. And, let's give credit where credit is due. Rod Cower said, I'd be keen to see a McDonald and Ruby centre-back pairing when they're fit again. A few times yesterday, the side-to-side passing at the back was terrifying to watch. I think they deserve a goal. SITV says, I like Mikey Stewart as a pundit, but the nonsense he came up with saying Lennon, Jack Ross and Malky Mackay, who should be Aberdeen manager, is a nonsense. I wholeheartedly agree with that. And I got to be honest, I like Michael a lot, but I was surprised that he came out with such nonsense. And I'm glad Kevin Thompson kind of shut him down on it. Kevin Thompson was right. We're Aberdeen Football Club. We need to be aiming bigger. And with the greatest respect to these guys, and I mean the greatest respect, we should be aiming higher than that. And we should not be doing an SBFL merry-go-round. Absolutely not. No way. We should be looking out of the box. Transmission GGB came back to say Gartenman kept letting the ball bounce before clearing or touching it, And Jensen lost every header or nearly every header. Can't wait for Ruby return. That's the only thing that, you know, there's a few things that make me nervous about Stefan Gartemann, but letting the ball bounce in that area which he's supposed to be commanding, oh my God, mate. Stop letting the ball bounce. Kaiser said that he is just a small part of the massive problems we've had all over the park all season. Yeah, Michael Robertson, you're absolutely right, mate. Gartemann had a great match against Motherwell. He did. But for some reason, him and Jensen just can't play together. Sugarland has said, I'm hugely encouraged with Leaving in charge. Let's be positive and hope he keeps Palvara and Duke in the team and we push to safety. Kaiser has said, well done to everybody from the Lewis and Harris Supporters Club. I only live 5 miles from Pittodrie and struggle to go. David Gold reiterates that point. Great effort from the Lewis and Harris Supporters Group. Gordon Keith Ritchie says, great win yesterday. Poor game, but 3 points. Come on, you Reds. David Gold said, that was a massive win for us. Wasn't pretty, but 3 points is the most important thing. Kenneth McPherson, again, coming back to Lewis and Harris. Absolutely ridiculous. The travelling support from Lewis is a massive effort. Okay, I'm going to come back to your comments because there is something else I want to show you. So did you see that one of our club legends and Hall of Fame member was in town over the weekend? Here he is. Ian Jess. There he is. My man. So he was, he did a gig on Friday night in the town with Dean Windass, which I got told was great fun. But I've got to send you this picture because yesterday he was in my home village of Newborough. He was at the golf club doing an event in the golf club and he sent me those pictures. I love it. I love the fact that he was in Newborough yesterday. I got all tingly when he told me that. So I hope everybody that went along to the golf club had a brilliant time with Ian. You know, if anybody has been to gigs with Ian, they all know that he's really, really good fun. Great stories. Right, let's get back to your comments. Gary Bjorkland has said, get a European manager in place. Michael Stewart, ex-Hearts and Hibs say, get Mallet Mackay or Jack Ross in. Total waste of time. That's worse. David Gold has said, Man United's Darren Fletcher is also a sufferer of ulcerative colitis. He also spoke about it a few years ago. Yes, he did, David. You're absolutely correct. And I'm delighted to see that he also got through it. Kaiser said, I was waiting for Mikey Stewart to recommend Robbie Nielsen for the job. Jamie has said, Roos has been lacking in confidence, but when he gets into a run of good games, he really shows what he can do. Yep. Nicola Beaton has reminded you all to please hit the like button. Sugarland has said, I heavily criticised Gartemann, but in Europe he was very, very good. My point is that in this league against the industrial sludge, he's too weak. Yeah, that's a good point. John Smith says, get Mad Dog Ruby back in defence. He's on his way, I think, mate. David Gold has said, the Portsoy Pele, legend. Sugarland, onwards and upwards. John Smith says, get Ian Jess in the advanced playmaker role. A Transmission GGB said, saw Jess debut against Motherwell and his first winner's medal at League Cup in 1989 and his last goal at Tannadice, a cracking free kick. Honestly, if you've not met him, he's just the nicest, most down-to-earth, most humble guy that you will ever meet. He's just a brilliant, brilliant guy, and I'm very, very lucky and very fortunate to call him a good pal. And I was so chuffed that he was out in Newborough the other day. I just wish I could have got over. Baz Strachan has said, good evening all. Could see from the start we were crying out for some width in attack. Duke made that difference. He certainly did. Right, how long have we done? Oh, we're just coming up to half an hour, so I think we'll call it a night. Okay. So guys, listen, thank you so much, as always, for coming on the review show. So, look, let's just wait and see what happens in terms, if we get any news this week. If any news does break about the new manager, we will come on air. We will go live. So just keep your eye out, because I've put myself on standby this week to do that. Have a fantastic Easter Monday, and I will see you again. If not during the week, I'll see you on Friday night for the preview show ahead of the Livingston game. So have a fantastic few days. Take very good care of yourselves, and stand free. See you soon.